Were you going to say something else? Welcome to another episode of The 15th Floor, a Radiohead reaction podcast where a Gen X father introduces his Gen Z son to Radiohead music, one song at a time, as he reacts to it for the first time, and I gush over it for the millionth time. I hope you checked out our last video, the role reversal. It was our first role reversal video where Jacob introduced me to an Imagine Dragons song. If you haven't checked it out, I'll put a card up here right now so you can click on that card and you can check it out right now. Please go back and watch it. We didn't get a lot of views on Creep or that role reversal. I do want to go back and say that I apologize for being so hard on Imagine Dragons. I listened to that song wanting it to be some type of classic. It was a really good song. I've had this song kind of in my head a couple of times, and I thought, yeah, that was a good song. That's fine. And if you're an Imagine Dragons fan, stay tuned because we're going to do more of those. We are going to start doing our reactions where we're both reacting first time to modern music, so keep on sending those suggestions. If you have a popular song that you think, if you think I've heard it, you're wrong.
It doesn't matter what I know when it comes to the modern music stuff. It's like...
Yeah.
like...
I mean, if it's okay if I'm reacting, if it's okay if you're reacting, it's okay if both of us are reacting. Yeah. And of course, as you can see, we still don't have a backdrop. We're just, now the new thing is to just mention that we don't have a backdrop, and we're just going to keep on saying we don't have a backdrop. Should we just move to an area of the house with a better background? I mean, just if we just turned it around in this very room, we'd have some bookshelves in the back, and it would be, you know, we could put a light down below that puts some color on the wall. I mean, that's fine, kind of eye-catchy. But there's also backdrops. I mean, I was thinking, let's just get a backdrop. But I also don't want to make it look like we're at a wedding reception line and you're just like, oh, that's clearly a fake backdrop. I don't get backdrops. I thought two doors would work out just... Maybe, for all you know, that's an elevator. And we're on the 15th floor.
Yep.
So it's the perfect backdrop. This is an elevator behind us.
You just, like, print out a button... Like an up and down
print out,
thing.
There's really one there. We've just covered it up because it's a real elevator. I thought the content was so good I could have done this in front of a white wall, but apparently it's not. We need a good background. So, and it's by far the hardest thing, the thing I think about the most with this channel. Mm-hmm. Stupid backdrop. Jacob, what do you think of this? What do you think of this? And Jacob's like, whatever.
Yep.
Okay. I was going to wait to do this one because it's just such an obvious one. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, today we're doing Paranoid Android. Paranoid Android from 1997's OK Computer. Regularly voted amongst fans as the best Radiohead song of all time. It's time, right?
That's a lot of pressure on me.
That is a lot of pressure, but you just listen and you just think it through. Shout out to, if I butcher your name, sorry, Father Risky, Michael Lutman, Christoph Kurls, and Noam Abramovich, who all suggested this song, amongst many, many others. There were so many people who was like, you've got to do Paranoid Android. Of course we've got to do Paranoid Android. I just didn't know when we'd do it, and here we are, and this is the moment you are converted. Lots of pressure. That's lots of pressure. All right, you got it. This was their first single release from OK Computer. I first heard it as in the music video, and the music video is kind of a fun cartoon. And I was so excited for the new Radiohead, and this song came out, and I was like, whoa, things are happening, right? It's often compared to Bohemian Rhapsody or Happiness is a Warm Gun because there's different parts and different movements in the song, but it is superior to both of them. I love Bohemian Rhapsody. I'm a huge Queen fan. I think what Freddie Mercury does vocally and lyrically, but as great as those songs are and as great as those movements are, Paranoid Android is superior to them because there are distinct movements that have recall and callback to other movements. You will hear the underlying theme of bum 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 over and over again. You'll hear it from the acoustic guitar, you'll hear it from the bass, you'll hear it from the vocals, the melody. You'll just and then okay, I've got to stop talking about it because I'm not supposed to gush about it until you've had a chance to hear it. Jacob, Gen Z, what do you know about Paranoid Android?
Everything that you've said. You said the things about Paranoid Android, so that's what I know.
Yeah,
Because
gotcha,
you just said
gotcha.
it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. You were like, I already knew all those things. So do me a quick favor. We don't do this very often, but just read to the microphone this last little stanza here.
That's it, sir. You're leaving the crackle of pig's skin, the dust and the screaming, the yuppies network, the panic, the vomit, the panic, the vomit. God loves his children. God loves his children. Yeah.
Scaramouche, Scaramouche. Will you do the fun? Okay, you are a member of Radiohead, and Tom York walks in and says, I came up with some lyrics. Here they are. And you read the panic, the vomit, the panic, the vomit. What do you think? You think there's no way. There's no way that's going to sound musically great. You read off with his head, and you're like, that's not going to work. It works. And you're going to hear that it works. Without further ado, Paranoid Android.
You got nothing interesting in the intro, which obviously isn't a bad thing. It's just a simple guitar doing its rhythm over and over again.
Yep.
Nothing, and the rhythm isn't terrible. I think the rhythm has a nice little rhythm to it.
Yeah, the rhythm has a nice rhythm to it.
Yep, the rhythm has a nice sound to
Yes,
it. It's
good.
a nice rhythm.
Yep. Everyone on their respective instruments as usual. Johnny Greenwood is playing the cabasa. That's the stick with the round top with the little beads around it that you see in like bossa nova type music and things like that. But other than that, everybody's on their respective instruments.
Please could you stop the noise? I'm trying to get somewhere from all the unknown chicken voices in my head. What's there?
This is definitely a unique song, and I can see why people wanted us to do it so much. I can see why it's a really popular song. Like when he says, could you stop the noise? And when he says noise, he gets to that higher pitch, and then he slowly and then he goes back down.
Yep.
When he says, I'm trying to get some rest, I like when singers do that. It is just weird for me because, again, I said this last time, where Tom York is trying to do another instrument with his voice without auto-tune, so it is a little bit weird for me, but I'm trying to look past that, and I'm trying to think of, like, if someone else sang this song, and, like, I could clearly hear every word, will it be a good song? And so far, I'm saying yes.
And this is definitely pre-auto-tune days anyway,
Yeah.
and I don't think Tom York would... Well, I shouldn't say I don't think Tom York would do that. He does a lot of vocal manipulation in Kid A. You mentioned that he starts low, please could you stop the noise, and then he goes up, and then you get your chorus, what's that, then the android voice, and then we're just getting into the second verse where he starts high, and he comes down.
When I am king, you will be fast against the wall. Have no consequence at all. What's there?
I don't know what instrument that is, but it's the do-do-do-do-do-do-do. I like that touch.
Yeah, I mean, most of these instruments are going to be your guitars. Yeah, they're going to be guitars. Other than that, they're just doing fun things with effects.
Yeah.
What's there? Ambition makes you look pretty ugly. Kick and scream and goose, you little piggy.
I'm sorry. I just have to shout out this one line. Kicking and squealing Gucci little piggy.
Yeah.
What kind of a line is that?
So there's a story behind that line, actually. So This whole song, like a number of songs, is Tom York observing the world. He was in a bar in, I believe, LA, somewhere in California, I believe, and he just felt out of place. He felt unsafe, not in a scary sort of way, but just attacked from all these bizarre people. That particular line describes a woman who he saw had a drink spilled on her, and she absolutely flipped out. And he describes the look in her eyes, and it just terrifies him that a human being can act like this toward another human being. And that's where he comes up with kicking, squealing, Gucci little piggy.
You don't remember my name. I put his head man, I put his head man. You remember my name, I guess you do.
I like how when he's saying off with his head, the music gets more intense, which is appropriate because he's saying off with his head. So another little tiny detail that I think is interesting.
Yep.
It's weird to think that this is the same song that said off with his head and like just a bunch of other stuff, because like it changed from a rock. I don't know what this. I guess the beginning wasn't really rock. I forgot what was the beginning.
Yeah, the beginning was kind of bluesy, but that was the first movement. The verses and the choruses are the first movement, and then it got into that "Ambition Makes You Look Pretty Ugly" is kind of the second movement, and now we're into the third movement, maybe the coda, which is much calmer. Before we get a call back.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I really hurt my shoulder when I was doing the guitar thing and I just slipped down in my chair. Oh my gosh, that is a Gen Xer listening to a song. How many people have like been headbanging in their car or something like that, and you're like, oh, I can't do that anymore. That was, oh man, it was worth it though. It was worth it.
That is definitely an interesting song, a really unique song, and then like this weird, I don't want to say eerie, but like this calming and I'm gonna say eerie. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what the right word is, but yeah, different than the other two areas.
It's like a Baroque chorus or a chant. I mean, it's like a choral arrangement. Now that is a mellotron. It's a keyboard instrument that when a key is pressed, it kind of presses through a tape of a recorded sound. and it's a very interesting, hardly used instrument. It's famous in Strawberry Fields by the Beatles. It's popped up in other songs. I hear that and I think of I think a lot of people think that's layered voices, kind of like Bohemian Rhapsody, but it's a mellotron. It's an instrument that Johnny is playing, and that gives you that kind of Gregorian, while he's singing about the panic and the vomit. Even something like Bohemian Rhapsody, where you hear it and those individual parts are so exciting, but once you hear it all together, you see how it was made, and you rock out to it enough to know it, then you've realized, oh, this is really a near flawless song. Score.
I feel like an 8 is definitely too low, but I don't feel like it really deserves a 9. Like, I don't feel like a 9 is good either, so I'll give it like an 8.5.
An 8.5?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's just something about it that doesn't make it a 9. But it was a good song. I like the song. I think it was definitely a song that if I was in a car and it came up, I would definitely not skip it.
Yeah.
It was, for one thing, I don't like long songs.
Yeah.
And this was a long song.
Yep.
I don't know what Radiohead was like wanting to do with these other two last sections, from when you start saying rain down to God loves his children. If he got rid of that, and then the ending was like what the ending was,
yes,
then like I thought that would have been like 9.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Okay. I just don't like 6-minute songs.
Okay.
And stuff like that.
That's understandable, and not to pick on Gen Z music, but that just doesn't happen, right? You're not getting a lot of musicians throwing out the 6-minute song. To someone who grew up with Led Zeppelin or Pink Floyd or The Who, I mean, then that's not weird at all. And throwing in different movement. Think Baba O'Reilly. You know Baba O'Reilly. Yeah. That has complete different sections. It's not near as long as this.
Yeah.
But
that song, again, I would have liked way more. But the first part is like 1 minute of the same.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
keys.
It is 1 minute of the. This song is not complete without Rain Down, and That's It, Sir, You're Leaving. As a classic Radiohead tune, so if it were on the Bends, it would have probably been presented exactly like you said it was. When they first started playing this song live in front of audiences, they were playing a 14, 15-minute song. And it wasn't until they listened to more, and I think it was Happiness is a Warm Gun that they just, by the Beatles, that they were just thinking, you know what, we can make this more concise and still like what we're doing. The lyrics are interesting. It's really the anthem, the centerpiece of OK Computer, because it hits all the themes: loneliness, depression, commercialism, capitalism, observation of human behavior. It hits all of those themes, and it spans the gauntlet of kind of what you're going to hear on the rest of the album. So it's really a perfect lead single, even though it's not a classic lead single from an album. So let's talk about drawings. This is my daughter's drawing. That's a person trying to sleep, obviously saying, I can't sleep because the noise in the other room, blah, blah, blah. Maybe that's coming from please could you stop the noise? I'm trying to get some rest. That first line really stood out to her. And she wanted to say, for your information, that's a door, that line.
FYI.
FYI.
For your information, This is a door.
ASAP as possible, right? Yeah, his drawing. So you realize that the boy, he does... he's like a lot of artists. He likes to sneak in a similar element into all of his work so that you can see, oh, that's definitely by him. And in his case, it's the sun. Yep. There's the sun in the upper left corner. That's a guy rocking out with his hands out. He specifically told me that's his hands are out. That the big circles you see are his hands out,
like jazz hands.
Yeah, jazz hands, exactly. And he's singing, yeah, with the exclamation point. And then above him, above on the right are notes, musical notes. And that guy is shooting an arrow at him to get him to come after him, I think is what he said, something along those lines. A guy happily singing a song, but someone trying to interrupt that happiness. Once again, he knows exactly what Tom York means. I hate wrapping up this video because this song is one of the reasons why you do a podcast like this. because you want to introduce something different, something amazing to another generation. So if you're from another generation and you tell us what you thought of Paranoid Android the first time you heard it. Tell us why you like it. Tell us why, maybe if it doesn't do something for you, and be prepared for some comments from other people. If you are a Radiohead fan, tell us other things you like about Paranoid Android. How has it become such a part of, why does it continue to top charts of greatest songs of all time? Continue to watch all our other videos. We're going to keep doing some of those role reversals. We'll keep throwing these Radiohead reactions at you, of course. That's the purpose of the channel. It's a lot of fun. I'm going to regret wrapping this up because I know there's so much I need to say about this song, and I'm not saying it. And Tom York says to not take this song too seriously. It's a funny song, he says. So as much of an experience it was to help him create the lyrics around this song, he wants you to enjoy it. And I think that's a lot coming from Tom York. Please like, please share, please subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. We need those subscriptions, subscribers. We need those subscribers. It's the same thing. We sure like doing this. We appreciate all the positive comments. Absolutely continue to love one another. Keep listening to music together. And this has been
The 15th Floor.